Hey everyone, welcome back to Moo the Motherland podcast. I'm Robert, and as always, I'm here with Marlene. Today, we're diving into something that's honestly blowing my mind. New discoveries under the Giza pyramids. Marlene, are you ready for this?
Oh, absolutely. Robert, I feel like every time we think we've hit the bottom of the rabbit hole with ancient Egypt, someone finds a whole new tunnel system. And this time, it's not just rumors or old explorer stories. It's satellite data, ground-penetrating radar, all this high-tech stuff. It's wild.
Yeah, and what's crazy is, these aren't just isolated little pockets. The latest scans, SAR, GPR, you name it, are showing this whole network of interconnected shafts, tunnels, and chambers under the Giza Plateau. It's like an underground city, and honestly, it kind of makes you rethink everything we thought we knew about the site.
Exactly. And I love how these new technologies are, verifying things that people have been speculating about for decades. Dowsing used to get a lot of side-eye, but now you have cases where a dowser would pick up on something, and then the GPR comes in and, bam, there's a chamber right where they said. It's kind of humbling, honestly.
Yeah, and that reminds me of William Brown's work back in 2006. He did those GPR scans along the Sphinx Causeway and near the Great Pyramid, and then, years later, satellite data comes in and basically confirms what he found. It's like, okay, maybe we should have listened to these folks a little sooner.
Right? And it's not just one-off stuff. There are 9 different locations where they found these anomalies, and every time, the scans matched up with the energy signatures the dowser picked up. I know some people are still skeptical, but when you have multiple methods lining up, you gotta pay attention.
Totally, and the scale of it is just, some of these shafts go down, 50 meters, 80 meters, even deeper? And then you hit these horizontal corridors, and sometimes even massive chambers. It's not just a couple of little tombs, it's a whole system.
And the fact that these discoveries are coming from non-invasive methods is so important. We're not talking about tearing up the plateau or risking damage to the monuments. It's all remote sensing, modeling, and then, hopefully, targeted exploration. It's a game changer for archaeology.
Yeah, and honestly, it kind of makes you wonder, if this is what we're finding now, what else is still hidden down there? As we saw in our episode on Puma Punku, sometimes the real story is literally beneath our feet, just waiting for the right technology to reveal it.
So, let's talk about some of the people behind these discoveries. Trevor Grassi, for example. He's been at this for years, right? He was influenced by John Anthony West, who, if you remember, was a big proponent of the Sphinx water weathering theory. That whole idea that the Sphinx is way older than mainstream Egyptology says.
Yeah, and John Anthony West brought in Robert Schoch to look at the Sphinx, and their work really kicked off this whole debate about the true age of these monuments. Trevor kind of picked up that torch, and now he's working with all these new scans and models. It's like the old-school esoteric approach meets cutting-edge science.
And it's not just about the Sphinx. Under Khafre's pyramid, the so-called Middle Pyramid, they've found these deep shafts, and possibly even what some people are calling the Hall of Records. That's the stuff of legend, right? Edgar Cayce, all those prophecies about lost knowledge hidden under the Sphinx and the pyramids.
Yeah, and the engineering involved is just, how did they even do this? We're talking about shafts that go down over a kilometer in some cases, with chambers and corridors branching off. It's not just digging a hole, it's advanced engineering, and it raises all kinds of questions about who built this and when.
Exactly, and it really challenges the mainstream timeline. If these structures predate the pyramids themselves, as some of the researchers are suggesting, then we're looking at a much older, possibly more advanced civilization than we've been taught. It kind of echoes what we talked about in our episodes on Mu and Atlantis. These lost civilizations with knowledge and technology that we're only now starting to rediscover.
Yeah, and honestly, it reminds me of my own research journeys. Chasing down these stories of lost continents, trying to separate myth from reality. Every time we get new data like this, it feels like we're getting a little closer to the truth, even if it just raises more questions. And the debates are still raging. Some people are all in, others are super skeptical, but that's kind of the fun of it, right?
Oh, totally. And I think it's important to keep that open mind. Sure, some of these ideas sound out there, But when you have physical evidence, scans, models, even old excavation reports from the 1920s and 30s, it's hard to just dismiss it all. I mean, the idea of a secret city beneath Giza isn't just fantasy anymore.
And the fact that so many independent researchers are coming to similar conclusions, even when they're not working together, that says something. It's like the evidence is starting to converge, and maybe, just maybe, we're on the verge of a real breakthrough.
So, let's get into the big question. What was all this for? I mean, you look at these massive underground networks, and you have to wonder, was it for energy, water management, some kind of sacred science we don't even understand yet?
Yeah, and honestly, the theories are all over the place. Some people think it was about channeling energy, maybe even something like what we talked about with the obelisks and Tesla in a previous episode. Others say it was for water, like a giant cooling or irrigation system. And then there's the idea that it was all about preserving knowledge, like a literal hall of records, storing the wisdom of a lost age.
And then you have the global connection theories. The idea that the builders of Giza were somehow linked to the same people who built sites like Puma Punku, or even the legendary civilizations of Atlantis and Mu. I know it sounds out there, but when you see similar underground structures popping up all over the world, you have to at least consider the possibility.
Yeah, and I mean, the research teams are still pushing for permits to actually get down there and explore these tunnels directly. It's not just armchair speculation. They're trying to do this the right way with archaeologists, funding, and all the right equipment. And honestly, if they pull it off, it could change everything we know about ancient history.
I have to say, when I visited Giza a few years ago, I remember standing there, just imagining what might be beneath my feet. Like, you look at the pyramids, and they're already mind-blowing, but knowing now that there could be this whole hidden world underneath, it gives me chills. I mean, what if the real story of Egypt is still waiting to be uncovered, literally?
Yeah, and it kind of brings us full circle to what this podcast is all about. Questioning the mainstream, exploring the unknown, and keeping that sense of wonder alive. I mean, who knows? Maybe the next big discovery is just around the corner or, 100 meters below us.
Exactly. And as always, we'll be here to talk about it, dig into the evidence, and maybe even challenge a few assumptions along the way. So, thanks for joining us on this journey, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll keep following the story as it develops, and who knows, maybe next time we'll have even more to share about what's really under Giza. Marlene, always a pleasure.
You too, Robert. See you next time, everyone.
Take care, everybody. Bye.